You're tuned in to Chappy
and Junior's
Podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got a special guest for you guys tonight. So we're sending out all the tweets right now, letting everybody know that we're live. We're actually hitting the airs about 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
Getting everything set up and everything. So our special guest today is a guy by the name of Sean K. Michael K. You can check him out on all social medias. Just search for him. He's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We'll let him talk more about the exacts on those
when he gets up in here.
Yeah, when he gets up in here. So I'm actually gonna play a couple. Little snippets of a couple of songs. The first one I'm gonna play is called Monsters, and it's actually the first one that I heard. I heard a little 20 seconds of it on TikTok, and I just kind of went down the rabbit hole with the guy.
And I really like the song.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So I just reached out to him and started talking to the guy, and he was interested in talking. And
push came to shove, and we're here today.
Yeah, there was no shoving. I just told him,
really.
Get the hell on the podcast. No, he's a cool guy. We've talked through text messages, I don't know, about a week and a half now, and he seems really cool. He's a hard-working guy, so hard working with his music, and he's got a full-time job, so I don't know how long we're going to do this interview with him because I don't know if he's got to work tomorrow. I didn't even ask him. He volunteered to do the interview, and I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. We were going to have full versions of his EP, but for some reason, the album, it came up as a pre-release. The album's been out for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And it said something about being, pre-released and all this, and I'm like, that's not how it works. And so we're I'm gonna play one here right now. It's called Monsters.
Tell me back my things and go. Yeah, I cannot conceive these messages in my phone. I am trying to see where it was that I went wrong. Well, she's a monster. She's running to the core. Still I miss her. She keep me coming back for more of this illusion.
Alright, and the next one we're going to play is called Sweet Caroline.
Touch of the softest breeze and the eyes of a Carolina sea. Hair rolled down her back in the smell of a southern summer afternoon. I tell you, boy, this girl drives me crazy and I don't know what to do. I'm heading back home to sweet Caroline, a girl so fine, like wine from the vine.
he's like I said, those were just little snippets. I know he's got them out there on his EPs out on Amazon. So we're just, whenever he gives us a ring, we'll get with him. But in the meantime, Junior, has there been anything in the media, social media, that's kind of angered you at all this past week?
No, not off the top of my head, Chappy.
Nothing off the top of your head.
No, not currently.
You know, that could be he just took a hour and a half nap and his brain's not working.
Yeah, I'm still waking back up. But
yeah, that's probably more like it. Is he's still
I can't think of anything right now. What about you? Anything you've seen that you've disliked or?
No. I very rarely go on social media. Well, I haven't this week. We started new hours at work.
Oh my lord!
And we're up and out of the house by like 4:45. And by the time we get home, I don't feel like going on social media. Now, I'm sure I'll find and I'll see something over the weekend that, that I dislike, and, it happens. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, it's a hit and miss with social media. Now everything, as I'll probably get more into with Sean, I mean, he uses social media outlets as a positive thing. So, I mean, it's not all bad. Sorry, guys, I'm a little parched. My throat, even from last weekend till now, my throat's still been scratchy.
Yeah.
So, I know tomorrow, we're gonna go over some things in tomorrow's live, because we're going live tomorrow on here and on Twitch tomorrow. And then you'll see the recap video on Sunday. A couple real quick recaps from this week is we had a couple pretty good shows talking about the good and the bad about social media. I think one of them,
Mondays and Wednesdays episodes, pretty good this week.
Yeah, and I believe you have them out on YouTube.
Yes, I do.
One of the biggest things that I wanted to kind of talk about today in the live before we get going with Sean is the misconception about this channel's name.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been a big thing with this channel's name.
It's been a big thing about the name of Chappy's Flocking Podcast. Okay, here's the thing. On TikTok, I got about 6,000 or 7,000 followers. I've been using the Flocking name on there for who knows how long.
Right.
And so when I decided, we were in a Telegram chat, and I said, Flock, as in flock.com, a new social media site coming out, which is going to be great.
Yes.
Once it finally comes out and they get all the support they need from founders, because it's pretty much it's a founder driven social media app. But I digress. So I was using it. I got the permission to use it. I got the permission to, because I was using Flocking and not Flock, I got all the permissions and everything.
All the legal aspects.
Yeah,
out
everything
of the way.
everything was good. The problem is new people that didn't know me were associating this as a Flock podcast, where we were going to have all of the Flockers, as far as the founders on here. We were going to get their point of views, and I guess I should take some blame in this, saying, okay, maybe it was a misconception because it was talked about in a Telegram group. Okay, so I guess, in a way, I'll take blame for it. But
you can't take all the blame.
No,
because you explained yourself when you
were
did. Starting out.
I did, but that's the thing. That's how social media works. Somebody may see me, and I'm not saying this has happened, but somebody may see me making my merchandise, which we do have,
Mm-hmm.
and putting Chappy's Flocking Podcast on there, and be like, oh, we can use, a variation of flocking, and they'll just do it without talking to Nathan.
Right.
Nathan, who is the CEO and owner and creator of Flock, without even talking to him, they'll do it. Now that makes him look bad.
Makes you look bad.
Makes me look bad. It makes Nathan look bad. It makes everybody involved, it makes them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
So what we decided to do to stop this person or that person from ever saying, Chappy, why are they allowed and we're not allowed? We decided to go through and just rebrand everything. Yeah. And let me tell you guys, it has been a complete freaking nightmare headache to rebrand everything. You guys have no idea.
We spent this past week.
This is a lot. This is probably why our brains are fried today. One, we're getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah. Okay, then we're working in 100-degree weather in a factory, and then we come home, and while I'm cooking dinner for us too,
I'm messing around on
he's redoing our website. He's redoing our emails, directs. He's redoing YouTube videos. We had to redo intros and outros, which we're still doing. Like, just to save the argument from,
making
it a huge deal for, for everybody and the headache and the arguing. We decided, yes, we already spent all this money with branding. We decided that it would just make it easier is if we just rebranded everything and just simplified it, and it's Chappy and Junior's podcast. Very simple. Because here's the thing. We're doing this podcast for a couple reasons. One, we're doing it to kind of get sides of people's opinions.
Yes. Of
social media. Okay. The second is I'm doing it as a bonding thing with Junior. I wasn't around as much as I wanted to be, and somebody's blowing up my Snapchat right now. So we're to me, it's a bonding thing. So outside of that, I could care less. It's not about the money.
Nope.
We've made
40 cents at most.
I think, to be totally blunt, guys, I think we've only made 40 cents off this 41 cents off the podcast. We make zero money off of our merchandise. Not because we haven't sold anything, but literally we've marked our merchandise down so much that we're not making anything on it. We're not. We guys got to understand, when we rebranded everything, it cost us to rebrand.
Yeah.
And now we're starting in the hole. Like, you guys don't want to know what my bank account looks like right now. You guys do not want to know.
Yeah.
And it's because we just wanted to rebrand everything and
make it simpler.
Make it simpler for you guys. And it to me, in my mind, we may make people think, well, you were just in it for this reason or that reason. That's why you just decided to cut bait and change your name. Okay, I will say this to that. If that was the case, we wouldn't push Flock every single episode.
Right.
If I was just to cut bait, I would have nothing to do with Flock anymore.
We wouldn't even say nothing about him.
I wouldn't say nothing about him if it was just about Flock. To be totally honest, Flock is probably going to be the biggest app
to come out
since TikTok.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do with their admin team. It has a lot to do with the CEO and his wife, the COO. So if we were just to cut ties and jump ship, one, it's a platform that we're both on and we're going to use when it finally comes out. It's almost ready to be released from beta. Okay, they're just waiting for permissions and this and that, So we would stop talking about them altogether if it was just about, clout, or whatever reason, whatever anybody wants to say. But we're just, I'm trying to clear the air here that the rebranding was just to let you guys know that we had permission. There's no confusion, and we had permission to do what we did. You know, if you guys just go out and use somebody else's name without permission, you can be sued.
Yes.
Okay, but if you get the permission to do.
Oh.
Turn that up. All right, guys, we got a call. We got a call coming in here. Hey, it's Chappy and Junior here. What you doing?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, we're gonna turn you down here just for a second. You blasted us. So, hey, what's going on, my man?
Not much, man. Just chilling in the studio, getting ready to record some new tracks so the band can work on some stuff. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we were just sitting here talking about our rebranding and redoing our website and everything, and
Pain in the ass.
What a pain in the ass that's been.
It's always fun.
Yeah, you know, websites. You know, I don't know how old you are, but I'm going to be 44, and I'm not that tech savvy. So that's why I got the young. That's why I got the young. You're what?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. So you're in between Junior and I. That's okay. It's not too bad. I played about about a minute and a half of 2 of your songs. Mm-hmm. One of which is what drew me to you, which was Monsters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I got to re-record that one for sure because we've decided that we're definitely going to try to add that to the album that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it actually came across my For You page on TikTok, and I just liked it. Now the video and the audio on TikTok was all screwed up, like they didn't match.
Yeah,
they weren't in sync. But then I started listening. Like I had to turn away because I was trying to watch you, and it just wasn't working for me. I have OCD, and it wasn't working. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know, man. I saw that, and I was like, I can't get the video because I couldn't save it from my YouTube.
Right.
So I was like, hey, if you guys want to watch it where it's in sync, definitely go over to my YouTube. But I was like, I am sorry. I know OCD is going to kick in, and the audio is not matching with the video whatsoever. But I did what I could. What I did was I did like that screen record thing with the iPhone you can do.
Oh,
and I just recorded it playing and kind of like chopped it to where you were like watching me go to YouTube and then type in Monster and then go to it and all that stuff. So
Right. But yeah, that's what drew me in, and then I started listening to more of your stuff. The next song I heard, which I didn't play, but was your cover of Old Red,
which was amazing,
by Blake Shelton. That's probably
thank you guys.
I'm telling you, Sean, it's probably the best cover of that song that I've ever heard.
Agreed.
And that's just not me blowing smoke up your ass. That's seriously your vocals and how you play that acoustically. It sounds great. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys so much.
And then the other song I played for the audience was Sweet Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
I played Sweet Caroline. I like that song.
Awesome.
And there's other songs that I do like on that EP. I just, I kind of just picked a couple that I don't think people would necessarily go and listen to. I'm different like that. So question is, so why don't you tell our audience, where you're from and, how you got into music?
Oh, that's a long story. I'm from North Carolina, originally from Florida, and how I got into music was my mom went to Full Sail while I was in her stomach in the womb and all that stuff, and ever since I was born, she was always like, hey, what is the bass doing? What are the drums doing? What is the guitar doing? Like trying to get me to do critical listening from a really early age, and like ever since then, I've just music has been my entire life. No matter how much I try to get away from it, it's pulling me back in, man.
Yeah.
But first band, I think let me back up a little bit. So my mom got me a guitar when I was little, wasn't quite ready for it. Got me another one when I was 16, and I was just like, man, I want to learn this thing. So I sat down in front of a computer, and I learned what tablature was, and I taught myself how to play.
Okay.
And it's just been going from there. First band I was in, I think I was like 18. It was a band called End of Honor, right at the spark of the hardcore movement with emo and hardcore and post-hardcore and deathcore and all the cores that come around.
Right.
So did that for a while. Yeah. You say something?
We're losing you there. You still there?
Oh, you lost me.
There you are.
All right, so yeah. So did that for a while and then got out of that and then ended up in another band called Naomi Wise. And that was even more metal.
Yeah.
So much more metal. No, take that back. I was in a band called Dead Arsenal, and that was like grindcore-ish.
Okay.
And then I got into Naomi Wise. And then that just wasn't working out. I had been playing metal for like, I don't know, 7 years. And it just wasn't going anywhere, so I took a break for like 8 years. But I kept playing like acoustic stuff. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get somewhere, I might as well just do what comes out naturally.
Right.
And metal came out naturally, but when I sat down to write a song, it was always in a different direction. So I was like, let me just try this instead. And then stuff like Monster came out, and Sweet Caroline, and a bunch of other ones that are just in that kind of rock, bluesy rock genre kind of feel. Not so like, in your face kind of stuff.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I think your voice has that acoustic bluesy feel. Like it sounds like that's natural. So I feel that would be the best fit for you.
Yeah, like just the influences. Like my dad was really into Gavin DeGraw, and just that whole vein there. And a lot of upbringing with my parents, listening to like Jim Croce and James Taylor and stuff. So that's kind of where I got a lot of that influence from. But I still got the metal pumping through my veins, you know. So
Right.
it's still there.
Right.
It's just not apparent right now.
Right. You know, we were listening to one of your songs in the car today on lunch, and it gave me the vibe of Maroon 5. I don't remember what song.
Adam Levine.
Yeah, it was like Adam Levine vibe. I don't know if you take that as a compliment, but it kind of gave us that
I definitely
feel.
take it as a compliment, man. Anytime I can get a compliment from anybody that's already there where I want to be, it's 100% compliment.
Yeah, I don't remember what song it was, but it just, I was like, this sounds like the vibe of somebody else, and I went searching on Google my entire lunch. That I went looking. I'm like, I know if I see the video of it, I'll know who it is. And Maroon 5 popped up in one of those searches. I was like, that's it, right there. That's the vibe I got.
Yep.
So, but
yeah, I'm right in that vein, man. It's that Maroon 5. It's like Mumford and Sons. It's a lot of stuff. Like when we went to go record the EP that you bought. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tom Bolovac was actually the guitarist on the EP, and I don't know if you guys know who Tom Bolovac is. Excuse me. And a lot of people don't know who the musicians are, but he actually played for Cyndi Lauper to Blake Shelton, and a lot of stuff that he did, if I'm not mistaken, was Matchbox 20.
Oh, okay.
So when we were in the studio in Nashville, my producer, Chuck Ebert, was like, okay, it's got kind of this vibe with it, and okay, let's go for it. And some of them, like one of them I think was Maroon 5, one of them was a little Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe for Welcome Home.
Yeah, you know what, I think it was Welcome Home.
On the folky side, you can hear the flea kind of essence in the bass.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, you say Matchbox 20, that, yeah, it does kind of give off that vibe, too.
I can definitely see it.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that. Okay, so we're going to switch gears here real quick. I don't even know how long you have. Like, you got to work tomorrow or anything? Because we got some time.
I got music stuff, work.
Okay.
Tomorrow. I don't have to go anywhere. So
okay. All right. Yeah, we know how it's like working in a hot factory in North Carolina.
Oh yeah. So I'm building my studio actually, so it's really just insulation and a wooden box. I haven't got the air conditioning in here yet, and there's no tree cover, so I am sitting in an oven right now.
Oh man, that's worth it. That's worse than going to work. So all right.
Yeah, I am cooking, literally suffering for my passion. content.
Yeah, literally, you are. Yeah, you are literally cooking in there. So, all right, we're gonna switch gears because I don't know if you know that we talk about, social media. The good sides, the bad sides, even the ugly sides of social media, and we've had both sides from some of our callers.
I've spoken on both sides of the coin.
Yeah. My question to you is, being that I found you on TikTok, do you think social media has helped you, get out there to the world? As your main get out to the world?
I wouldn't say my main get out to the world, no. But it definitely has. Social media is great and horrible at the same time.
Yeah, that's...
Because social media gives you a voice, lets you get out there. The downside, I feel like, and I mean, I could be wrong about this, but you've always heard you have to post 3 times a day. The algorithm will pick up and get it to people that will like your stuff. And that is just so time-consuming to spend on an app on your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you have the time to do it, it helps. You grow your audience, people like you, they start buying your stuff, yada, 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 all that stuff.
Right.
So as an artist or anybody that's got a podcast or anything, we connected through that.
Right. Exactly.
And it's great that way. And I just don't like how time-consuming it can be if you don't, really have time. I don't have time to do all that all the time.
Right.
I'd love to, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't have money like that. I got to work,
Yeah, well, I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's good in that sense, but in another sense, you get lost in the just scrolling through, man. You're just scrolling through TikTok, next thing you know, I'll just go through it real quick and see if I see anything interesting that I can talk about on my show, or see if there's any musicians I can reach out to and maybe collaborate. And then you look at the clock, and it's been 3 hours. And you're like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. I'll have to be up at 4:30 in the morning. I'll go and lay down. I'm like, let's just check out the feeds, and I'll be there. And like you just said, you look at your clock, and it's 3 hours later, and shit, I gotta get up in 2 hours, and. And then we do these podcasts 3 days a week. Normally they're pre-recorded Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We just pre-record something with somebody, and then we release them. And then we go live on Twitch and on Spreaker, which is what we're on now, on Saturday. Well, as of late, we've been just going live because the topics have been, that good. Our guests have been very opinionated, so we just go live with them all the time now. And that takes up abundance of time.
Ugh.
So
editing for that video.
I don't know. I think the live feed would actually kind of put people on the spot and make it more organic.
Yeah, see that's
rather than going recording it and then putting out later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because we didn't the pre-release with the EP that I bought. That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Because it's been out for a while. It shouldn't have pre-released anything. I still need to talk to my team members about that and find out what's going on. Right now we're trying to figure out what's going on with the Pandora thing.
Yeah.
So, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about, when you start getting into music. See, as a little background on my family, my grandpa, him and his brother started a bluesgrass band, when they were young. And then that turned into a family, country and western band with my mother and my uncles and my one aunt. And then that turned into myself and all of us just kind of playing around with music. Mm-hmm. My dad was, the sound guy for all of those bands. And, the very tail end of my grandpa's bluegrass and then the beginning of, the family thing. So, when I heard, I got an ear for music. I fiddle around with music, but I'm interested in music. And being on a podcast is the closest thing I'm going to get to putting my voice out there. So,
I hear you, man. At least you're doing it,
Yeah. But that's the thing. I commend you on doing what a lot of people won't. Even there's a lot of people that have a voice that won't put it out there.
Very true.
So
I come across a lot of people I just couldn't do it. I just feel like you totally could do it. You just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to break through that fear. You got to get over that hump. You know what? I'm just going to do it. It makes me happy. I'm going to do it.
Right.
And they won't. That fear is crippling. It really is. I'll tell you, some people that aren't scared. Little kids. I've had several little kids come up like, hey, can we sing a song and you play it? And they're, Believer is a big thing with little kids.
Right.
And I love it because the message in the song.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
So little kids will be like, okay, and I'll go ahead and play the chorus, and they'll, they go right into it, and a crowd of people are there.
Right.
And I'm just like, keep it up, little one. You got this. You got this, young Padawan. You can do it.
Little Padawan, yeah. Well, I mean, that could be, I think as we get older, social, being social in society, kind of, people making fun of you or this or that. And mine, like, I used to do karaoke all the time. The old cliche, you're great karaoke, but you can't go into a studio. Well, somebody laughed at me one time because I missed the whole chorus. I was drunk, okay? So I missed the whole chorus. I'm just standing.
That's the point of karaoke, is it not?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was up there having fun with my, my brothers and my uncles and my cousins, and I missed the whole chorus. And one guy in the back was, laughing, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing this again. And now, that's just it's kind of like a stage fright thing for me now.
But you gotta get back up there, man.
Yeah, eventually.
Don't let that one stool sample in the back hinder you from having fun,
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'll leave it to the professionals like you, I guess. So.
Well, there's one thing. I was taking acting classes. If I could afford to keep doing them, I'd do them because there's a great acting studio in Greensboro called In Studio. Fantastic. The chick that, I forget her name. God, I wish I knew her name. I should have took notes. But I didn't know we were going to get into this. But she's on, I don't even know the name of the show. Anyway, she came from there, and she's on one of, the big teen shows that are on, Netflix. I forget what it's called. It's something about, Outer Banks is the name of the show. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And she made it from there, and my teacher always said, this is a problem with people getting into acting at an older age as opposed to people getting into acting at a young age as their kids. As you grow up, you forget how to play. You're always worried about the world. You're always worried about, what's going on. People are going to judge you. You don't just fall into the moment and just become that person like little kids do. And ever since he said that, I watched my son, and he's a natural-born actor. He's 4, and he just gets into these roles in his head where he's acting things out. And he's like, oh, there's worms in my mouth. That's so true, And we're so worried about being judged and everything. But as another famous actor said, I can't remember her name either, you have to have the hide of a rhino and the soul of a rose to get into acting. And I think that falls into every aspect of entertainment. You got to be able to roll with the punches and get back up and keep your passion strong and just not let anybody stop you from doing it, especially doing karaoke.
Yeah, that's a pretty deep quote. If you really think about it, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, I have the hide of a rhino and the soul of a rose.
Yeah, that's deep. That's something to think. I'll have to remember that. Yeah, I'll have to send you a recording privately. I'll have to get your email and send it to you, something to you privately that I did record. I mean, I do have some stuff on TikTok that, I'm just goofing around with, but there's something I actually recorded that I'll have to send you.
It sounded good.
So
I'm down, dude. I'll listen to it.
I'd play it right now, but the whole world's listening right now.
And he would be pretty embarrassed.
I would be embarrassed.
We wouldn't want to do that.
All right, hold on. I'll do it. We're going into places on this podcast that we normally don't go into. Hold on, let me find it.
It just got real deep.
It got real deep real fast. All right,
my soul, man. Now we got to talk about the feelings.
Now I got to talk about
this podcast to a therapy podcast.
What happened here? But yeah,
it's all your fault, Johnny.
It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Well, isn't that what the therapist says? We're going to change you. They don't say they're going to change the other person. Exactly. They say they're going to change you. So
let's get back on subject. We were talking about social media.
Mm-hmm. Now, what would you say would be the absolutely worst thing you've ever seen on social media?
How much time do we have?
well, we got about 10 minutes, so let's get the short version.
Okay, so there's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the worst thing or the amount of people that feed into it on social media.
Okay.
Like, I think, like, there's a lot of dumb stuff on there. Like, okay, this might seem a little bit like a direct attack. I feel like it's a direct attack towards me. But, like, you've heard me. I'm singing. I'm playing guitar. I'm working on a craft. I'm busting my butt at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll come across some videos on TikTok or whatnot, or, like, Reels or whatever, and it's the dumbest things in the world. And it makes no sense, but there's, like, 4.5 million people that liked it. And, like, all these followers on some of the dumbest things.
For no work at all.
That, like, back in the day when you actually had to have talent, you didn't have YouTube, and you didn't have everything else in front of you, would never make it.
Right.
At all. They,
Agreed.
not at all. But it just seems like some of the dumbest things in the world are at the top of the list for everybody to watch.
What's hilarious is you just
Depressing
answered my
almost.
question.
Yeah.
But here I am singing my heart out, learning how to write songs, working with a Grammy-winning producer, and all I have to do is sing about a mayonnaise man,
Right.
or you know, flip a bottle that's full of water on a table and go crazy. Like, what's going on, world? Come
Right.
on.
So we talked about this is still, it's not about social media. This is more of a personal question. Who influenced you as far as how you write your songs?
Good question.
How do I write my songs?
Yeah, like you know, some people, they write their songs
And take inspiration.
They take inspiration from other writers or other songs, or you know, do you get in like your inspiration from other songs or other writers, or?
Yeah, it just depends on like the flow that I'm going for. Like if I'll come up with some lyrics, right? And what I used to do is I'd actually come up with the composition first,
Right.
and then I'd write the lyrics to it. And after working with Chuck, I've learned that I can write the word and then find the right vein, composition-wise, to put the words to.
Gotcha.
You know? Excuse me. But, yeah, there's definitely influences. You can hear it all from my music.
Right. Yeah,
And
I've pointed
I've pulled
out
from a lot of stuff. Lately, I've written, I think, 22 new songs.
Wow.
And they're more towards, like, Alice in Chains and, you know,
Nice.
Audio Slave, Soundgarden,
Nice.
Pearl Jam, you know, Nirvana. Like, it's all kind of going in that direction. Because I was like, I have an acoustic. I had to get my electric fixed. I used to write metal songs. I've been writing these acoustic songs, and they're not quite getting me where I want to be in my head, like, personally. Like, they could be so much more. And I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm going to start writing rock songs on an acoustic guitar. Because if it sounds great on an acoustic, it's going to sound amazing on an electric.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing. And the whole vibe, the whole next album that we put out, When We Cross That Bridge, is going to be, it's kind of cascading over in that department with the songs that we have picked out for the rest of this album.
Right.
So yeah, I pulled from all of my past experiences in life, and sometimes I'll hear stories like Jim Croce used to do. I'll hear a story from somebody and put it into a song, or I'll get like an idea, at least composition-wise, from the music that I'm listening to at the time.
Right.
And then that'll kind of come out in my own way.
Right. All right. So we got about 5.5 minutes left. I'm gonna give you a chance to kind of speak to the audience in the world. Give yourself your plug. You know, where people can find your music and stuff. Where you're touring. You know, your next dates or what. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you about 4 minutes.
It's your floor.
It's your floor right now. Say whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm Shawn Michael K. My music is available everywhere, all streaming platforms except for Pandora. We're still trying to work that one out. You can buy it all over the place, too. The EP is called Broken Heart. A lot of people do get this confused. It's S-E-A-N, and then the K is K-A-Y. Yeah, we're working on an album. We're going to finish that up soon as I get some more funding. That's going to be out in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got to finish that up, and then that will be out at a time. I will totally announce that. But definitely connect with me on IG. It's sean.michael.k.com. You can find me on TikTok, Sean K, Facebook, Sean Michael K. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm everywhere.
Yeah,
But,
I found you.
The shows that I have, the next one I have is August 5th in Youngsville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And then we're planning on, what are we doing? We're doing a bunch of stuff. I got a music conference to go to in Florida, so I'm going to be down there in November. And then I think we're not having too many more shows until the first of the year, full band.
Okay.
So that's going to be really epic, and that's going to be a big step forward.
Right on, right on. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. We do offer, if any time, like next year when, everything drops and you got new tour dates, you're welcome to come back on and, pitch it again. We're all for it.
That would be awesome, man. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and
Yes.
I'll still follow you on TikTok and all that stuff.
We'll be here listening.
We'll be listening, hearing new covers and stuff.
Well, I'll definitely keep following you too.
Yay! I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yes, we
it.
do.
So, all right, my man, we're gonna let you go so you can get some rest, so you can finish that studio and get some music stuff done.
Awesome, brother. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Sean, you take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Pretty good interview, I think.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to hear more about just him.
Yeah,
I
didn't get it out.
Yeah, I normally we do the back and forth with the his on social media, but I think I just wanted to hear more about him and his music today. Normally we kind of go. Our philosophy is the good, the bad, and the ugly of social media, but he's a very interesting man. He's got great music, and I just felt that was the direction. That's why we shoot from the hip.
Yep.
We don't have a script, so we just kind of shoot from the hip.
I mean, there are, like, I've got in my notes a couple questions that I
I
up.
But it was kind of like, I felt that it was, it was, I don't know, for some reason.
Educational?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like, I just felt like people needed to hear more of who he was.
Yes.
And, hear more about his music. Real quick, we got about 2 minutes before we're out of here, guys. Make sure you go over to the website. Now, the website hasn't changed yet. We gotta wait.
The name for it.
The name and everything's changed, but you can go over to Chappy's fucking podcast. We still got our giveaway going.
Yep.
All you gotta do is sign up to the website. There's a free entry there. If you refer a friend, make sure they put your name in there, so you get an entry in, another one. If you buy some merchandise, which is a whole bunch new added because we redid the website, so all kinds of new stuff is being added, which will be on there Monday morning at some point. We're going to work on all of that this weekend. But if you buy $5 worth of merchandise, you're going to get 5 entries.
Yep.
So you can walk away with quite a few entries for this giveaway, and then we're going to do a random select on a live Twitch
on the following
Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make sure you get out there. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this live. It was great having Sean on tonight.
Which he went right through and answered the question I was going to bring up.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes that happens. But, all right, guys, we're 45 minutes. We're out of here. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is your host, Chappy.
And this is Junior.
We're out.
Take it easy.
Peace.